Hey guys, today I want to talk about doing the right thing after we're gone. You know, a lot of things that out of all the things I've noticed here since I've been here, is that when a good majority, and I'm saying that truthfully, it's usually a good majority of expats that leave behind either their wife or their girlfriend penniless, and in some cases, having to take up a collection to bury them. Okay, and I want to do a whole vlog on this time because I thought it would be something that's worthwhile to put out there. You know, when we leave this world, we need to leave behind something for our former girlfriend or wife, at least to take care of our body and not leave that in their hands and for them to take up a collection. That's like the nastiest thing that you could do. You know, if you're coming over here and you don't have enough money to bury yourself or to take care of your hospital bill when you're ready to pass away or something like that, you probably shouldn't be here. You should be back in the US, because leaving that on the Filipinos is the wrong thing to do. It's definitely the wrong thing to do. I know some of you guys are saying, well, Steve, what right do you have to tell me that? No, what right do you have to do that to somebody? You know, that's the way I look at it. You know, and you know, we have to be more responsible as expats over here, because we leave behind a bad legacy a lot of times in a lot of towns here when we have to take up a collection for an expat. I've seen it happen here. I've seen it happen too many times here. A majority of the times the expats don't even have plans or anything like that for when they die. They don't even have any money put aside for that. They don't have anything put, secretly stashed away or anything. They don't tell their girlfriends because they're afraid their girlfriends are going to steal it or whatever, or their wife's going to spend it or whatever. You know, we got to have something in place. Either have an expat friend that you trust or somebody that you trust that you can put in charge of that. And you're going to need to go to an attorney to have something written out so the people can at least take care of your body after you pass away. It's important that we do this. You have to sit down with an attorney. It doesn't cost much. It depends on the attorney that you go to. Have a document written out. I want so-and-so to take care of me, and then have a secondary in case that person passes away or is sick or out of town or what have you. That way there you got somebody else in place, and let them know where everything is, what to do, what you want done. Now, a lot of guys say, well, I don't care what they do with my body. They could throw it down the river or whatever. No, but they're not going to do that. You know, no civilized person here is going to throw your body down in the river. So stop with that. I don't care if it's joking or if it's true. If you don't care what happens, you got to take this serious, because people that care about you want to make sure that your body is dealt with in a proper manner and you're buried in a proper way, and you have a marker, or you get buried at sea, or whatever your wishes are. They want to see your wishes done. Okay? And that doesn't mean getting thrown in the river or a garbage hole or whatever because you don't care. That doesn't work. Okay? So get past that. You got to leave something behind, whether it's for a cremation, burial. You should have a plot. Some people say, well, Steve, the plots are only good for like 5 years and then they dig you back up. That's true in some places in Manila, but there are cemeteries and other places outside of Manila that you can buy a plot and it's good forever. Okay, supposedly it's good forever. In all honesty, I think that a lot of cemeteries, after 200, 300, 400 years or something like that, there's a good chance they're probably going to get dug up anyway. At that point, what does it matter? You know what I mean? Your bones are already gone and lost. I don't think that really matters. But I think here, you definitely need to have at least a place that you can get buried. Okay, and if you were ex-military, there's bases there's places up north where there's veteran cemeteries or whatever that you can get buried into, and you can look into that beforehand and let the people know that you want to take care of this, where you want to be, and make sure you have that all set up beforehand, or who to call or whatever. Look into it. Start doing your homework now. Don't let them do all the homework. You do the homework. You know, that's the stuff that you need to leave like a book behind, telling them basically what to do. We've talked about a little bit about this in the past before, telling them exactly what to do, where to get money, who to call. You need them to call the VA if you're a veteran, your sister, brother, kids, children, whatever, foster children, cousins, whoever. Have them a list to call, and have them a way to call, like Magic Jack. Tell them how to get into your phone. Leave all the codes behind it, how to get into your phone, so they can get into your phone, so they can get into your Magic Jack, or Magic app, as I should say. But if you have Magic Jack set up in your house, they can just pick up the phone and make a phone call, obviously. Make sure, all that stuff is set up so that they know that, or they can contact them on maybe Facebook Messenger or something like that. Make sure that all this is set up, that they have all this stuff, they have all this information, they know who to call, they know who to call if you're sick, whatever. You need it taken care of. I just, one thing that really irks me the most here is when I see an expat pass away and they start taking up a collection plate to bury the guy. And it throws all the responsibility on the other expats that have planned. Like I myself have planned. I hate throwing in money to an expat that didn't plan, because you know what? He deserves what he's got coming. But you know what? His family doesn't. That's the key. His family doesn't. So, a lot of times I've given or I've helped out in the past with some things, and some I haven't, because these people, they didn't care at all, But I feel bad for the relatives, and I feel bad for the kids, and I feel bad for the wife and the girlfriend or whoever has to take care of all this mess. And take up a collection is like, it's really disrespectful to the girl, because that's embarrassing. You have to take up a collection for an expat that's been spending lots of money probably, and all of a sudden he's got no money for death. There's something wrong with that picture. I'm sorry to say, but that's just the way it is, the way I look at it. I'm sure a lot of you guys would agree with me. Guys, we need to, as expats, we need to leave a better expat legacy than what we're leaving. Leave this behind, that they have to take up a collection to bury you. The legacy I want to leave behind is I took care of myself the whole time I was here in the Philippines, right up till the end. And enough for people to bury me and take care of me and leave a little bit from my girlfriend or wife. And for me, if something happens to me, my girlfriend gets some money. She gets part of my insurance policy, which is excellent. That takes care of her for a while. I usually pay my rent up in advance. That takes care of her for a while. So that's always there. So it gives her time to get all this stuff together. To gives her time to bury me without having to worry about the home or whatever. But anyway, guys, I wanted to talk about that because it is something that has bothered a lot of expats over here. Most of I would say a good chunk, I won't say most, I'll say a good chunk of the expats over here do take care of their wife by leaving a house behind, or leaving, they share an account together, or they just share a lot of their stuff together, or the wife knows because she's gone to the United States, she's come back here in a lot of cases. But a lot of the guys that come over here and stay here don't do that for whatever reason. So either they don't trust their girlfriend, they don't trust their wife, or whatever. You have to get past that. And like I said, put somebody in charge of that, whether it's an expat friend that lives near you, or somebody that you trust, or an attorney that they can go to, what have you. You got to plan. I'm not going to get so much into that planning, but you guys know what I'm talking about. You do have to have some sort of documentation for people to bury you. Make sure you at least get that done. Otherwise, it makes it very difficult for them to bury you. And also, you have to tell the embassy, and there's a lot more to this too. And maybe I've done a little bit on this in the past, but I want to tell you, start getting into this stuff more. Remember, leave a thing behind telling them exactly what to do. And you guys know what you have to do when somebody dies or whatever. A lot of you guys have buried people in the past or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. You got to leave some sort of notes behind how to get into things. How can they get information? How can they get passcodes? How can they do this? Where do they go online to do this? Who do they notify? Where do they call for the insurance policy? If they have an insurance policy, or where is the cash hidden? And, all that stuff. Anyway, guys, I want to cover this. It's been something that has bothered me since I got here, because I've seen too many people get buried over here, or die, and they have to be cremated, and they don't even have the amount of money to get the cremation in some cases. That's the sad part, and if you're over here like that, then you shouldn't be here. In all honesty, you really shouldn't be here, because, you can't leave behind that, and it kind of hangs over our heads. It makes all of us look bad when you die, and they have to take up a collection for you. That's pretty sad, But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care.